What's up? My name is Jessica Ray. I'm one of the digital editors at Rare Radar, and I will be interviewing Amaya today and just talking about her journey through social media marketing and all of the sorts. So let me get her in here so we can get started. Let me go ahead and add her. Yes, I was just adding you. Hold on.
Hey
Hey,
girl,
how are
what's
you?
going on? How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
I'm actually gonna take my AirPod out because it's not as loud as I want.
Okay,
How about now?
fine. It sounds the same actually.
Perfect. Okay, you
Yeah.
you sound great. I got my chest
How are
chested.
you? How's your day?
It was a day, girl. How was your day?
It was good. My day was pretty chill. A lot of good stuff coming my way, but today is about you. We're celebrating you. So, I guess we could wait a couple minutes to get everyone in here because
Yeah.
I was super nervous. I started on time.
Girl, I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna play around with my filters because you know me. Okay, I'm about to filter. Let me see. Oh, I like this one. Oh, we like that one.
Yes, you look so
Anyways,
pretty.
no, I feel that I was like running late, like my late. So I was like,
Yeah,
and I couldn't even get to my phone. I was like, I need to tell Jessica I'm beat, but we on time.
right. You're on time.
Yes.
So, I guess just introduce yourself. Just tell the people what you do.
Yeah.
What field you're in, and all of that.
Yeah. Well, my name's Amaya. I am the owner and the founder and CEO of First Supply Marketing, where we educate new and established entrepreneurs on how to make more money on social media. So I have right now a freelance side that I am working on, and then an educational side that I'm also working on so that people who are wanting to start or need something to like jumpstart, they can get access there while I have
Okay.
established clients working with me on the other side. So we kind of do both. I want to open up my own little academy. So that's where that's coming from.
Yes,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank
Well,
you.
I know I saw you tweet a couple
Mhm.
days ago that you are looking forward to opening your own space and getting your
Yes.
standalone space where you can run your marketing
Yeah.
company out of there.
Yes.
So when is your like timeline for that? When are you looking to do that?
Right. So actually, I've toured some couple places here. I'm also in the Charlotte area, which you know that, but for people who don't know, I am
Yeah.
in the Charlotte area now. And I've looked at some places. I've kind of gotten visual aspects together so I can see what I like and what I don't like and things like that. So I'm hoping to open it up at end of this year after the
Yeah.
fourth quarter. I think that what I have planned for the rest of my year, because I like to plan my year out in quarters.
Hmm.
Hopefully, if everything goes well, I'll be opening up my standalone office here in Charlotte, hopefully downtown, so that my clients can come in. I can have seminars, have, round tables, things like that.
Yes. So do you have a team in mind, or will you be doing this, just you
Yeah.
until you get a team, or is it just kind of like you for right now?
Right. Yeah. No, I have a assistant at this moment.
Okay.
And we are looking at bringing on a web designer. I do a lot of freelance outside of this, so I reach
Yeah.
out to a lot of people to help me with like singular
Mhm.
projects. And then after that, I hope to bring on like a web designer who's all set with that. I hope to bring on one more person to have their own account where they can have an account by meaning like they can reach out to their own
Clients and
like
stuff.
leads and make their own
Yeah.
money using
Okay.
First and Fly. So yeah, hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have four solid team members and an office big enough to make us all comfortable.
Yeah, and I know some of the viewers probably don't know about Charlotte, but there is a lot of places that are leasing out office
Mm-hmm.
spaces, even in
Yeah.
Raleigh as well. It's just
Yeah.
like an upcoming thing. I think a lot of businesses went out during COVID, and a lot
Yes.
of these business spaces are just vacant. There's no one in
Mm-hmm.
there, and it's been vacant for a very long time. So I
Right.
think, they're just trying to bring new infrastructure and new businesses to arise in the area, which I
Right.
think Charlotte's a perfect area for that. Because I know marketing is not the easiest thing to do in the
Right.
small cities, and I think Charlotte's one of those cities that it's like ongoing, so it's just going
Yeah.
to keep growing from there.
That's what drew me to this city. I was actually only gonna be here for like a year is what I told myself, and like
Yeah,
laughingly I look at it now and I'm like, this is gonna be like one of my locations, and then I'll open
yeah,
one in Atlanta and then I'll open one in LA. But like Charlotte really grew on me because of the amount of growth that's here and the amount of, network and people I've already started networking with, that I never thought I would have if I was staying in Raleigh. Don't get me wrong, love Raleigh, but
love
sometimes had to
Raleigh,
get out.
but gotta spread your wings.
Right, right.
So, what made you get into social media marketing?
Yeah, so I actually graduated with a degree in business marketing and management.
Okay.
So it's always been in the back of my head, but girl, I did not graduate college and go straight into it, okay? Because it's too
Yeah.
competitive and it's a lot to get out of where I'm at now. It would take me years in corporate to get when it comes to the type of ownership and credibility and the project management and things like that. So when I
Yeah.
came up with First and Fly, I had no intentions of it being like this. I reached out to Danny Lee, who is my girl. We went live last week talking about some business. She's an
Yes, I saw.
established, that's my girl. She really got me in a mindset of thinking about just the futuristic goals of my business. So she actually let
Yeah.
me start doing some stuff for her website. And I was like, girl, I don't know how to run no ads. And she was like, well, try. And I was like, okay, fine. And then boom, we hit a like, we just took off from there.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, maybe I can do this for more people and educate people on how you can make passive ways of income, with
Hmm.
working a 9 to 5 and things like that. So that's where it came from.
Well, yeah, I think that's great because the first step is just to try. Like, that's what you
Yes.
have to do is just to try. And if you don't try, you would never know if you would fail or not fail. So,
Right.
I think that's good, especially in the marketing industry. A mentor is like a godsend. Like, having someone to
Yes.
just guide you through the process is very hard to come by, but it's when you get one that you entrust in and trust you to like handle stuff, like going on her website and doing that. I think that's just so great for you.
Yeah.
So, how was the journey building your brand?
Mm. I'm still teaching myself every day. I
Yeah.
feel like in the last month and a half, probably 2 months, I've been using my own personal platform, which I was very cautious about doing at first. But then I
Hmm.
always would tell my clients, like, oh, just build your brand off your personal platform. It's like you have your own audience. So branding is really all about standing for what you believe in. And if you're not convinced that your product is good and your service is good, then nobody on any platform is ever going to believe it. So that's all about branding. Like branding is all about that. You can't just say you like something and then not also represent it and work on it constantly. So it has been crazy. For the actual rebrand of my company, I went through a lot of different stages of logos, colors, things like that. But
Hmm.
it's your business is always evolving, so you just kind of have to go with the roll with the punches.
And what's the process of like building that? Like, I know where do you start? Because
Yeah.
sometimes people really don't know where to exactly start at. They think
Right.
building a Instagram page, a website is a start, but I know there's things that you have to do behind the scenes that you have
Mhm.
to like kind of mock up before you let it out to the world. So,
Right. Yeah.
what did you use to start? Like, where did you start first with your logo? Or did
Yeah.
you like find clients first? What did you do?
So I always tell people, like, if you stress about a name, you're never going to get anywhere. Like, I sat
Hmm.
on my LLC for so long before I even started putting it to use. So
Yeah.
when you're starting something and you have an idea, start before you get deep into branding and stressing yourself out, because my logo came to me like I was just scrolling and I was like, oh, I like this. But if you already have an idea and you know how you want to handle it, go ahead and start looking at friends and family around you who you can start practicing your systems on and like figure out like what works, what doesn't work. And then ask them their experience. So like when I tell because I also do business coaching, when I tell my mentees, I'm like, what do you want them to feel? What do you want them to see? What do you want them, put yourself in your consumer, hat, and
Yeah.
like what experience do you want them to have? And that goes with colors. That I'm like, well, what do you want them to see when they go on their page? You want dark, you want light, you want things like that. So we navigate through all of that. And that's what I had to do for myself. I
Hmm.
wanted women to get attracted to it, but men to also take me seriously. So that's why I have a very multicolor, okay,
Yep.
period.
Yep.
Because, but so that's where I was going. So come up with your why. If you don't know about a name and stuff like that, start researching, start looking at your peers and your family, and grab their feedback, and then put it together, girl.
Just go from there. I
Yeah.
think like the one thing is just like authenticity. Like if you're
Yes.
authentic, it
Mm,
comes across to your like the people, your audience that you're trying to convey. It just makes it seem like this is what you love to do.
right.
And I think in this generation we definitely lack authenticity. But
Yes.
how do you think your knowledge has impacted others? So
Yeah.
will you share, I know on your Instagram story you share a lot of knowledge to people.
Yeah.
So how do you think, has people reached out to you and been like, thank you so much for sharing this with me?
Yeah, it's actually been kind of insane because like I mentioned before, when I started using my personal platform, I did not think that people were actually gonna like be like, "Oh girl, what?"
Yeah.
And the first live I did with my really, really good friend, my soul sister, Addison. She's by Anonymous Curls or Groovy Granola or something. I always tag her. She and I hopped on a live and we were just talking back and forth, and I was just spilling out all this tea that I've had all, just cooped up.
Mm-hmm.
And I had like 20 different DMs from people reviewing it. And I was like, what? Like, this is what you're thinking? I did not know this. So that was one of the biggest things. People reach out to me on a daily about things.
Yeah.
And I feel like because I'm just juggling like working and my business and everything else, it's hard for me to always interact. But
Mm-hmm.
I am shocked by the amount of people who are actually reaching out to me and applying pressure. And that's why I kept delaying my book, because I was like, I want to make this perfect because now people are actually listening to me.
Yes, and we're gonna
So,
get to that because I have some questions for you about that
yes,
book.
yes, yeah.
Because yeah, we're gonna get to that.
It's
But um, how did you realize this is like the field that you want to work in? Like, when did you realize this was gonna pay off, and this made you like feel good to actually be a social media marketer?
the pandemic, 2020, girl. Because
Mm-hmm.
when everybody had to go virtual and we were no
Yeah.
longer able to just walk into stores and walk into this, people didn't know how their brand was going to be out there and how people would be exposed to what they have to sell.
Yeah.
So seeing the devastation in the restaurant industry, in the medical industry, of people just like being stressed out, not having a job, laying off, I'm like, there has to be something different. The reason
Mm-hmm.
why is because I was sitting at home and I'm like, I'm finding all these places that I never knew were in Raleigh. And I was like, oh my gosh, but they're closed. They're closed. They're closed. There has to be a different way to give your customer an experience virtually or give them access to options. So that's when I knew that 2020 changed social media. It changed
Yeah.
it. It
It did.
changed it, and marketing and targeting and doing ads and all of that and content just skyrocketed. And I was like, well, let me just ride on this for a little bit. And it worked
Yeah.
out nice.
So has your your business kind of tripled or even like quadrupled from then? Like it's just like went off from then and you just feel completely satisfied with everything that you do and you just feel like I definitely feel good for starting this or for doing this.
Yeah, so when I started last year, I was like I'm going to be very transparent. Like I was not at the place, like I was not at a good place. And I was
Yeah.
really just holding on to a dream. And that's why I tell a lot of new entrepreneurs, like, your why and your like motivation is what's going to help feed you at night, what's going to help you get up out of bed and be like, I'm going to work on this. So over the last couple months, like working with, like, because I have so many different like departments of my
Mm-hmm.
business, so I'm like thinking, but doing like drop shipping and helping people set up their drop shipping and helping people, create their brand or just be a mentor with weekly things, it actually started getting a little hectic. I was like, so that's when I reached out to the University of Charlotte, UNCC, their
Mm-hmm.
business school. I was like, does anyone need an internship? Because I needed it. So that's when I knew, when I had to, then as an entrepreneur, when you have to ask for help or you are in a place where you're like, okay, I can't take anymore. I was stressing myself. I was sleep deprived. I was like, this isn't healthy,
Yeah.
because if
Yeah.
you're not running, your business isn't going to run. So
Yeah.
that's when I knew I had to expand my baby and expose it to someone else. I was like, okay, we're going places. Not all the way there, but we're almost there.
And how was it kind of growing your, getting your name out there and getting your clients? Was that difficult for you or was it pretty easy?
I had to literally go. I reached out to like dentist office back in Raleigh when I was there. I had to reach out to different people to try to get them to buy into this. As
Yeah.
if the pandemic wasn't enough, I had to get people to buy into social media marketing and like say like, hey, you need this. If you don't want to go through another dip like we did this year, you're going to need to really invest some money and put this to the test. Okay. So at first, yes, it's still hard now being in a new city and reaching out to a different target audience because people here are a little more established. Like the dentist office are already hip to the ads
Yeah,
and
they
things like
already
that.
know.
So
Yeah.
now I have to go. Reached out to a Maserati dealership the other day
Okay.
and stuff like that. Like I'm like, well, here we go. Let's try it.
Yeah.
So
And that's the
yeah,
thing is like you never know until you try.
yes, absolutely.
So
It's
how
oof, yeah.
how difficult do you think social media marketing is on like a scale to 1 to 10 and why?
Okay, so to get started, it's really like a 3 or a 4, really.
Okay.
But with the problem, not the problem, but the great thing about social media, it changes every day, every quarter, all the time. So you have to be on top of it and always educating yourself. Like last night, I sat and read like 3 articles about click funnels, which I'm going to promote some content about that later this week. And
Okay.
like, you just can't stop. And so people ask me, well, you had a marketing background, girl, I use my degree. My degree is not like, I have not done nothing with the degree technically. So I've learned and I put the work in. And that's why I want to create the academy with a membership so that people can literally grow and have their own social media marketing agency because it's that easy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How do you think it's super important for every company to have some type of solid marketing, like a
Yes.
very, very solid marketing?
Yes. And I'm not just saying that because of where I'm in. It's a
Yeah.
necessity. Like you have to, you are marketing everything every day.
Hmm.
Every day, like from the shirts you wear in your office to the pens you hand out when people are signing out of something. Like
Yep.
you are marketing and you are a brand all the time. There's never a time. Like I have business cards. I'll be in the club, but like if I were, I would have business cards. You don't know who you're chopping it up with and be like, hey, here, hit me up.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
never know.
you have to always be your biggest brand ambassador. And I think that major companies have now seen that because there were some companies who've never had marketing departments, especially in the Charlotte area, and it showed, and they had to create them, you
So
know?
what's the difference between social media marketing and regular marketing?
Yeah. So I
No,
think, yeah,
it's, I was just gonna say, I know it's like a lot of companies, their CEOs are older, so they're not hip to social media, and like it's forced today,
right.
and how influence it is in our culture. So what's the difference between the two?
Yeah, so marketing, and I'll take it back to my textbooks. Marketing has a lot to do with, like I said, the pamphlets, the flyers, doing outreach in the community. So going out into the field and like bringing those people in,
Hmm.
and things like that. Social media marketing is definitely more of like the management side of things. Being able to manage someone's page, do paid ads, do, a whole month's worth of content, create content, all of that stuff. I feel like those go hand in hand.
Okay.
A lot of the marketing departments right now will have like a social media associate. So it kind of falls under that umbrella. So
Okay.
sometimes I don't like to tell myself I'm only social media marketing. I feel like I'm more digital marketing, because you're thinking
Yeah.
about other aspects. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, thank you. I know a lot of people, I never really knew the difference.
Right.
I thought ads were just ads, but
Mhm.
I know some people don't really know that marketing is like the big umbrella, and then there's
Yeah.
different subcategories within that umbrella.
Absolutely. You're
Um,
right.
but let's get to your ebook, which is like the thing I wanted to talk about because I
Yeah.
saw that you just dropped it like early last week, I
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
And just tell us about it. Tell us about the process.
Yeah.
You don't got to go too much in detail, but just how you want to what are you trying to convey with the
Right.
ebook and how
Yeah. So what I what I kept thinking about during the whole process is like nobody better have any excuses after reading this. Okay? Like if you haven't started your business after reading this book, I don't know what to tell you at that point
right. I'm
because
laying it flat.
I'm literally telling you, I gave you 100 vendors like of
Yeah.
different categories. So basically the ebook, it's very like, it's a female entrepreneur book. So I know we have a couple of fellas on here, but y'all can get the vendors list alone if you
Yeah,
want. But do
that's
you
one of the things
think?
though, because you never know. The CEO of a company could be a man. Like anything is marketable if you know what your target audience is. You don't have gender really doesn't have anything
It
to do
doesn't
with
matter, right? It
it. It
doesn't
doesn't matter.
matter. And I really just made it female focused because I know that a lot more, I mean, and it's statistically showing in my sales, like a lot more females are leaning towards it. But I had a man buy my book there, like the other day, last week. I was like,
Oh,
okay, go on. But yes, so the ebook is basically the skeleton. Like Danny, oh, I love that girl. She told me it's like a fish. You eat it, spit out the bones, spit out what you don't want. You know what I mean? I have
yeah.
a plan. The chapters go as like a plan, ways of funding, how to make it legal, you know, going through and getting your LLC, all that process. And then I gave you templates on how to reach out to influencers, you know, how to reach out to vendors to let them know, like, hey, I'm interested in working with you. Do you have a catalog to send to me? Things like that, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
copy and paste. And then at the end of it, I have all of the vendors lists. Also, I have some ads, Facebook ad tips, email marketing tips, and all kinds of different things that can help increase your brand awareness.
Okay.
But yeah, my pride and joy with that is the vendors list because I've been sorting those things out for like 2-3 months. So
Yeah.
they're good. They're good vendors. Yeah.
And I've been through that process before with people selling vendors and it
Yes.
not being like what they say it is,
Yeah.
or that vendor could have been out of business already. Like a
Right.
lot of stuff where it's just not what it seems. So I think,
Mm.
you doing this, I'm pretty sure the girls love it. The girls are eating it up. I think this is
I'm shocked.
amazing. Like, and I looked at it and it's actually very affordable.
Yeah.
It's not too high priced, but it's not like
Yeah.
lowballing yourself because you are, you're knowledgeable about
Right.
this.
Right.
So
And that's why I wanted people to not just like see like, oh, it's $10 and like get $10 worth of stuff. I'm like, this ain't $10. Like,
it's
you know
not.
what I mean? Like I
It's
gave you a
not.
little promo code and everything.
Yes. And you did
You
it for
know?
24 hours, didn't you?
Yes. And so I have one live right now, which I can drop later for this live. But yeah. So I'm just like, come on now, just go get some money because the $64, $79 that you're gonna spend, and then you could make like 5-6 figures. You know,
Yes.
you're gonna be looking at this like, okay, honey.
So the last thing I
Yeah.
wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
so Ray Radar is doing a series this month of just celebrating women and embracing them and shining light on them in their field. And you are a social media marketer, so I just wanted to ask you,
Yes.
what makes you rare? What makes you different from the rest?
Mm.
What makes you authentic? Just very,
Yeah.
kind of standing out from everyone in this field, because you said earlier that this field is saturated,
Yeah.
but what makes you stand out? What makes people be drawn to you?
I think that my transparency with people, especially my clients, with like, girl, phone by die. My
Oh no, I
transparency
was
with
like,
my
no, loser.
look, it said, girl, not today. We almost out. But my transparency with like people, and and my last post on my page, I'm trying to open up a little bit more and be unique. And I want people to see me as someone who has created, who's going to create passive income, who can make 6 or 7 figures, hopefully by the end of this year,
Mm-hmm.
on my social media marketing. And I want them to see it not as competition. I want to be relatable and I want to be approachable. That's why I always tell people, DM me, please message me. If there's anything that I can do to help
Yeah.
you move forward, I want that for you. So I think just that effort and that empathy, and I know I've been there sitting on the couch wondering, how am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? But I have this dream and I want people to act on that dream. And I want to give them the tools to feel comfortable enough to make that stepping stone. And I'm also still learning every day,
Mm-hmm.
every day. So I want people to just know, like, it's okay to be raw. It's okay to be rare. It's okay to be authentic, but know your why and stand by your why, and don't
Yeah.
let anybody take that from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps it up. You answered all the questions that I had, and you definitely put me on game to a lot of stuff. I
Girl,
hope
hit
everyone
me up. You know
watch
where to
this
find me.
live. Yeah, I got your number. I'll definitely text you. But
Yes.
hopefully everyone that watches live got some information that was well needed. Thank you so much, Amaya from
You're
Rare
welcome.
Radar and
Thank you.
me. We definitely appreciate you joining us today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy
Yes.
Women's History Month.
A
All
period,
the women
because
out
that
there.
a lot of people won't be here if it wasn't for us.
Oh, where's the blueprint? Where's
Okay,
the blueprint?
let's just go
But
ahead. But I
yes.
appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're amazing. And please reach out to me if you need anything, okay?
Yes, let everyone know where they can find you
Oh,
and
yes.
marketing company. So if you ever need someone, to talk to, let us know where we can find you.
Yes, so my handles are, well, Amaya Rousseau, Amaya. My name too long. Y'all can find it. On Twitter, which I'm getting more active on Twitter, it's the same thing with an extra A at the end of my name. And then First and Fly Marketing is my Instagram handle for my business. We have some bomb content coming out tonight and this week. And yeah, just find me, beat me. You know how to reach me.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Amaya.
Thanks, girl. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.